Around 2.5 years ago, a narrative unfolded, dating back to 2021, when I find myself compelled to share an anonymous account, one that diverges from the typical tale of marital discord involving a spouse. No, this unfortunate episode delves into the intricate dynamics of familial relationships, shedding light on an unexpected twist in the lives of my parents. For 14 years, their union had blossomed into a bastion of happiness and stability. However, it's imperative to elucidate that the protagonists of this narrative are not a youthful couple, but rather my mother, a woman of 59 years, and my father, who has reached the age of 63. It serves as a stark reminder that infidelity knows no age bounds, casting a shadow upon even the most enduring marriages. Their story, marred by a sudden and unsettling development, unraveled itself on a fateful Thursday, approximately 3 years prior. At that juncture, my parents had embarked upon a well-deserved retirement, settling in the serene landscapes of Arizona. Their abode, nestled alongside a picturesque riverside, served as the backdrop for their newfound leisurely pursuits. A diesel truck with a camper in tow symbolized their adventurous spirit as they traversed the scenic terrain, alternating between the tranquil ambience of their Arizona retreat and the allure of distant locales, such as the rugged mountains or the sun-kissed shores of the West Coast. Moreover, their nomadic inclinations often led them to our doorstep, nestled amidst the high elevations of Utah, where my husband had meticulously arranged accommodations on our expansive property, fostering an environment conducive to familial bonds and cherished memories. Indeed, the camaraderie shared during these reunions was palpable, as we reveled in the joys of familial togetherness, our children forging indelible connections with their doting grandparents. The reciprocal nature of our visits underscored the deep-seated affection that permeated our familial ties. Even my brother, residing afar in Georgia, made it a point to partake in these familial gatherings, albeit less frequently. Yet, despite the geographical distance, the familial bond remained unwavering. Until, that is, the tranquility of our familial harmony was disrupted by the emergence of an unforeseen antagonist, Josephine. A vivacious yet enigmatic figure, Josephine's presence in the community was characterized by her exuberant demeanor and penchant for revelry. Despite my misgivings regarding her character, she managed to ingratiate herself into my mother's social circle, cultivating an unlikely friendship that belied their disparate personalities. It was a disconcerting development, given my mother's proclivity for a quieter, more subdued existence punctuated only by occasional social engagements. Yet, Josephine's allure seemed to transcend these differences, ensnaring not only my mother but also several of her acquaintances within her charismatic orbit. Repeatedly, I found myself expressing apprehensions regarding Josephine's character to my mother, yet each time, she brushed aside my concerns with reassurances of Josephine's benevolent nature and golden-hearted disposition. It was at this juncture that the narrative began to take a decidedly ominous turn. Several months ago, Josephine acquired a boat, seeking guidance from my father in its procurement and acquisition of operational skills. Last Tuesday, at approximately 6 post-maritime, my mother, Josephine, and another acquaintance, whom I shall refer to as Jenny, decided to indulge in a leisurely happy hour session. Their destination, a local river bar, marking the second crimson flag in this unfolding saga. Their plan was simple: to bask in the tranquil ambience by the water's edge, partake in a few libations, and engage in convivial discourse for a few hours. On that particular evening, my father received a call from my mother around 8 o'clock, indicating an extension of their outing by another hour. Ostensibly, they had encountered a mutual acquaintance of Josephine's, prompting an impromptu visit to this individual's residence by the river. This development raised yet another red flag, as my mother's prolonged absence coupled with the unfamiliar identity of this newfound friend sowed seeds of unease. However, my father, displaying characteristic equanimity, did not harbor any immediate concerns. The subsequent Wednesday passed without incident, devoid of any conspicuous occurrences. However, Thursday heralded the recurrence of the trio's rendezvous, as they once again planned to convene for happy hour libations on the bar's patio. This marked the fourth instance of concern, as my earlier assertion regarding my mother's infrequent indulgence in alcoholic beverages underscored the abrupt shift in her behavioral patterns. As the evening unfolded, my father and Jenny's husband embarked on a task involving the maintenance of their respective vehicles, rendering the lady's excursion a matter of minimal concern. Departing aboard Josephine's boat at approximately 6:30 post-maritime, their intention was to return home no later than 9 post-maritime. Around 8 post-maritime, following the completion of their automotive endeavors, my father retraced his steps homeward, only to discover a missed call from my mother. Curiosity piqued, he promptly returned the call, whereupon my mother divulged the desire of Josephine and Jenny to prolong their outing. Resolving to fetch her, my father promptly set off for the bar, ferrying my mother back home. During the brief journey homeward, my mother's demeanor appeared unremarkable. Yet upon closer reflection, my father observed an imbalance in their conversation dynamics, with him assuming the mantle of the primary orator while my mother assumed a more reticent stance. Upon their arrival home, my mother, with tear-streaked visage, sought solace in my father's embrace, her confession of infidelity shattering the tranquility of their erstwhile idyllic existence. Caught unawares by this revelation, my father's incredulous querycome again barely concealed his shock and disbelief at the magnitude of her confession. Throughout the long and dolorous night, my mother grappled with the tumultuous maelstrom of emotions that besieged her, her restless spirit punctuated by plaintive entreaties for reconciliation that fell upon deaf ears. Time and again, she would approach the threshold of his sanctum, beseeching him for solace and understanding, only to be met with gentle admonishments to seek rest and respite. It was not until the early hours of dawn, cloaked in the somber embrace of exhaustion, that she succumbed to the ephemeral embrace of sleep, a respite fleeting and ephemeral. As the morning sun cast its golden rays upon the desolate tableau of their shared existence, my mother's anguished cries pierced the silence, her desperate entreaties falling upon the deaf ears of a departing soul. Frantically reaching out to my father in a futile attempt to bridge the chasm that yawned between them, she was met with a stony silence that mirrored the desolation of her shattered dreams. It was then, amidst the wreckage of their shared history, that the specter of divorce reared its dolorous visage, a harrowing testament to the fragility of love's fleeting embrace. Mom and Josephine were in cahoots for their outing, and my father, seeking solace and counsel, divulged the unsettling turn of events to Jenny's husband. Though the intricacies of how this disclosure transpired elude me, Jenny's husband, in a twist of fate, stumbled upon evidence of her own infidelity, resulting in her expulsion from their shared abode. Consequently, Jenny found refuge in the company of Josephine, as they grapple with the tumult of their respective relationships. Upon receiving this bombshell, my father, a pillar of strength amidst the storm, reached out to my brother and me bearing the weight of his burdened heart. Initially met with incredulity, we dismissed the gravity of the situation as a mere jest, until the cold tendrils of reality gripped our souls, evoking a flood of tears and a profound sense of anguish. In the wake of this seismic upheaval, my mother's world crumbled around her, her frantic quest for reconciliation manifesting in a desperate odyssey across countless campgrounds in search of my father. Fueled by anguish and desperation, she traversed over 1,800 miles in her fervent pursuit, a testament to the depths of her shattered heart. Yet, despite our awareness of my father's whereabouts, we remain steadfast in our commitment to honor his plea for privacy. While the anguish etched upon my mother's countenance tugs at the strings of our hearts, we recognize the paramount importance of respecting my father's wishes, lest we jeopardize the fragile trust upon which our familial bonds are anchored. Nevertheless, the gnawing dilemma persists, as we grapple with the moral quandary of alleviating my mother's anguish at the potential expense of my father's trust. Striking a delicate balance between compassion and loyalty, we contemplate the merits of disclosing my father's location to assuage her pain, whilst safeguarding his need for solitude amidst the tempest of emotions that engulf him. As we stand on the precipice of this familial conundrum, our allegiance remains unwaveringly tethered to my father, the unwitting victim of my mother's transgressions. It is incumbent upon us to navigate this treacherous terrain with utmost prudence, lest we sow the seeds of discord that threaten to engulf our familial unity. Following her arrival at our home, my mother was greeted with warm embraces and well wishes before being ushered into the comforting embrace of a bedroom to rest. However, the tranquility of her respite was abruptly shattered when my youngest daughter's piercing screams pierced the stillness of the household, prompting an urgent summons to her side. Rushing to the scene, I was met with a harrowing sight: my mother, writhing in agony, her visage contorted with pain as she clutched at her lower abdomen and pelvic region. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, my husband swiftly intervened, scooping her into his arms and ferrying her to the sanctuary of our awaiting vehicle, the urgency of the moment propelling us towards the sanctuary of the emergency room. Upon our arrival, it became apparent that my mother was in the throes of a dire medical crisis, her pallor tinged with the sheen of sweat as she battled against the onslaught of excruciating pain and an ominous fever. The attending physician, suspecting a urinary tract infection as the culprit behind her affliction, wasted no time in ordering a battery of tests whilst concurrently administering treatment for her acute dehydration. However, the revelation that followed cast a pall of dismay upon us all. My mother had unwittingly contracted a sexually transmitted disease from her paramour, a sobering revelation that underscored the gravity of her predicament. Yet, amidst the despair, there flickered a glimmer of hope, as the doctor reassured us that the affliction could be vanquished with a regimen of potent antibiotics, a balm to soothe the frayed nerves that beset us. Despite the initial promise of her treatment, my mother's condition failed to exhibit any discernible improvement in the ensuing days, prompting grave concern amongst the attending medical staff. The specter of a drug-resistant strain of the disease loomed ominously over her bedside, prompting a desperate recourse to a combination of potent antibiotics in a bid to stem the tide of her deteriorating health. In the wake of a protracted and arduous battle, marked by days of agonizing uncertainty, my mother finally emerged victorious, her fever breaking and her condition stabilizing at long last. With a sense of cautious optimism, we bade farewell to the sterile confines of the hospital, our hearts heavy with the weight of the trials that lay behind us. As she embarks upon the arduous journey of recovery both physically and emotionally, the specter of regret looms large, casting a pall of sorrow upon her fragile soul. In the aftermath of a tempest that has left our familial bonds rent asunder, we stand poised upon the precipice of reconciliation, our hearts burdened with the weight of a sorrow that knows no bounds. Engaged in separate lives, each grappling with the aftermath of the seismic rupture that tore asunder the fabric of their once unified existence. The construction worker, a veritable interloper in the delicate tapestry of our familial bonds, insidiously wormed his way into my mother's affections, his brazen disregard for the sanctity of her marriage a testament to his moral bankruptcy. Alongside two complicit accomplices, he sought refuge in a rented trailer by the river, the embodiment of avarice and hedonistic indulgence. The chilling revelation, delivered with the weight of a sledgehammer, sent shockwaves reverberating through the very core of my being. To learn that my own mother, a paragon of virtue and maternal devotion, had succumbed to the allure of illicit passion was a bitter pill to swallow, plunging me into the depths of disbelief and revulsion. Despite her palpable discomfort, I persisted in my interrogation, my incredulity morphing into a relentless quest for answers amidst the tumult of my inner turmoil. Yet, amidst the wreckage of shattered illusions, there lay a sliver of solace: my mother's unwavering courage to confront her transgressions and lay bare her soul before the crucible of truth. In her confession, I found a glimmer of redemption, a testament to the enduring strength of her moral compass amidst the tempestuous seas of her own desires. As the inexorable march of time unfolds, the chasm that divides my parents widens with each passing day, their divergent paths a poignant reminder of the irreconcilable schism that now defines their fractured union. Though my mother clings to the fragile hope of reconciliation, my father remains resolute in his resolve, his stoic demeanor betraying no hint of wavering in the face of adversity. In the shadow of impending upheaval, I find myself torn between conflicting allegiances, my heart heavy with the burden of a filial duty that knows no bounds. As the harbinger of an impending storm, I steel myself for the inevitable reckoning that awaits, a crucible of emotions that threatens to consume all in its wake. In the intervening period since my last missive, the sands of time have shifted, heralding the dawn of a new chapter in my parents' tumultuous saga. Amidst the clamor of clamoring voices and the cacophony of conflicting emotions, their once stalwart bond has been irrevocably sundered, casting adrift the shattered remnants of our familial unity. As we stand on the precipice of an uncertain future, my heart swells with a bittersweet symphony of hope and despair, the echoes of bygone days mingling with the whispered promises of tomorrow. Yet, amidst the chaos of a world in flux, one truth remains immutable: the enduring resilience of the human spirit in the face of insurmountable odds. Now she carries herself with a palpable weight of sorrow and regret, a mere shadow of her former self. The dissolution of her marriage, once a cornerstone of her identity, has left her adrift in a sea of uncertainty and remorse, grappling with the bitter aftermath of her own indiscretions. While my father, stoic and resolute, swiftly severed ties with her in the wake of their divorce, my mother found herself engulfed in a tempest of emotional turmoil, her once stalwart resolve crumbling beneath the weight of her own transgressions. Bereft of the trappings of their shared existence, she now inhabits a solitary existence in a modest apartment, a stark departure from the idyllic splendor of their former life together. As she navigates the treacherous waters of post-divorce life, my mother's health has become a pressing concern, her physical and emotional well-being teetering on the brink of collapse. Hospitalized due to a myriad of ailments, ranging from bronchitis and dehydration to severe depression, she now grapples with the specter of a potential lupus diagnosis, a cruel reminder of the toll exacted by the relentless march of stress and despair. Yet, amidst the tumult of her afflictions, there glimmers a fragile ray of hope, the promise of redemption and renewal. Armed with a newfound resolve to confront her demons head-on, my mother embarks upon a journey of self-discovery and healing, determined to reclaim the shattered remnants of her shattered existence. In the crucible of adversity, she finds solace in the unwavering support of her loved ones, their steadfast presence a beacon of light in the darkest recesses of her despair. Though the road ahead may be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, she faces the future with a newfound sense of resilience and determination, buoyed by the belief that redemption lies within her grasp. As she charts a course towards a brighter tomorrow, my mother remains a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit, a beacon of hope amidst the tempestuous seas of life's trials and tribulations. And though the scars of her past may never fully fade, she emerges from the crucible of her suffering with a newfound sense of purpose and resolve, ready to embrace the boundless possibilities that lie on the horizon. In the shifting sands of time, my mother's once vibrant spirit has been eclipsed by a pall of fragility, her resilience eroded by the relentless onslaught of life's adversities. Despite the flicker of hope ignited by her newfound employment at a crafts superstore, the specter of her shattered existence looms large, a poignant reminder of the irrevocable toll exacted by the vicissitudes of fate. As she navigates the labyrinthine corridors of post-divorce life, my mother's steadfast resolve wavers beneath the weight of prescription medication and the ceaseless onslaught of stress, her once buoyant energy dimmed by the harsh realities of her diminished circumstances. Meanwhile, my father, unfettered by the shackles of marital ties, embarks upon a journey of self-discovery and exploration, reveling in the boundless expanse of his newfound freedom. With the wind at his back and the open road stretching out before him, he embraces the nomadic existence of a wanderer, traversing the length and breadth of the country in his trusty camper. Amidst the vast tapestry of the great outdoors, he finds solace in the arms of a new companion, their shared love of adventure forging a bond that transcends the constraints of age and circumstance. Though the cynic in me harbors reservations about the implications of their burgeoning relationship, I cannot deny the palpable joy that radiates from my father's being. In the warm embrace of his newfound love, he finds respite from the storms that once raged within his soul, a testament to the transformative power of companionship and shared experiences. And while the specter of marriage looms large on the horizon, both he and his partner remain steadfast in their resolve to eschew the trappings of matrimony, their shared past serving as a poignant reminder of the perils of love lost and lessons learned. As I reflect upon the tumultuous journey that has brought my family to this juncture, I am reminded of the profound impact of community and camaraderie in times of trial. To all those who have lent their support and guidance along the way, I extend my heartfelt gratitude, for your wisdom and compassion have served as a beacon of light in the darkest hours of uncertainty. And as we navigate the uncharted waters of the future, may we draw strength from the bonds that unite us, forging ahead with courage and resilience in the face of whatever trials may come our way. Miley and I embarked on our journey of love and companionship 5 years ago, but the seeds of our romance were sown amidst the joyous revelry of my friend Noel's wedding. As a groomsman, I found myself entranced by Miley's radiant presence, resplendent in a verdant green maxi dress that accentuated her graceful silhouette. Yet, my clumsy attempts to catch her eye resulted in a comical mishap, as I inadvertently spilled cocktails upon myself in a hapless bid for her attention. It was in the aftermath of this humorous debacle that Milly's warm-hearted nature shone through, as she graciously offered to assist me in rectifying the mess I had made. In that moment, Amidst shared laughter and genuine camaraderie, I found myself inexorably drawn to her, captivated by her inner beauty and outward charm. Though I had harbored doubts about the notion of love at first sight, Miley effortlessly dispelled my skepticism, her presence resonating with a sense of inevitability that defied rational explanation. As our courtship blossomed in the wake of Noel's nuptials, Miley extended an invitation for me to meet her parents, a gesture that underscored the depth of our burgeoning connection. However, our fledgling romance encountered an unexpected hurdle when her father voiced vehement objections to our union, citing concerns about my perceived lack of financial standing. In a distressing display of arrogance, he disparaged my professional achievements and cast aspersions upon my character, reducing me to the status of a mere average guy in his eyes. Our wedding day, a celebration of our enduring commitment to one another, filled our hearts with boundless joy and anticipation. Yet, as the years unfolded, I found myself grappling with the unsettling realization that certain aspects of Miley's behavior mirrored those of her father, a disconcerting echo of the past that threatened to overshadow our marital bliss. Despite the challenges we faced, I remained steadfast in my devotion to Miley, cognizant of the fact that our love transcended the trials and tribulations that beset us. For in her, I found not only a beloved partner, but a kindred spirit whose unwavering support and steadfast loyalty brought light to even the darkest of days. And though our journey together has been fraught with obstacles, I am filled with gratitude for the gift of her love, a beacon of hope that guides me through life's tumultuous seas. A world where Miley's entitlement and demanding nature cast a shadow over our marital bliss to a realm where hope and transformation bloomed amidst the fertile soil of love and understanding. It was a journey fraught with challenges and obstacles, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The turning point came during a mundane shopping excursion for furniture, where Millie's disregard for my opinions and penchant for tantrums became glaringly apparent. It was a moment of clarity that served as a catalyst for change, prompting me to confront Miley about the need for mutual respect and maturity in our relationship. In a heartfelt dialogue born of love and sincerity, I expressed my concerns and articulated my expectations for a more equitable partnership. To my surprise, Miley responded with humility and contrition, acknowledging her faults and pledging to embark upon a journey of personal growth and self-discovery. With unwavering determination, Miley took proactive steps to cultivate patience and kindness in her interactions with me, embarking upon a part-time job and educational pursuits that spoke to her desire to contribute meaningfully to our shared life. It was a transformation that spoke volumes about her resilience and commitment to our marriage, a testament to the power of love to inspire change and renewal. In the end, it was our shared dedication to personal growth and mutual understanding that paved the way for a brighter tomorrow, a testament to the transformative power of love to transcend even the most formidable of obstacles. And though our journey may have been fraught with challenges and uncertainties, I am grateful for the opportunity to embark upon it with Miley by my side, a steadfast companion whose unwavering love and commitment have enriched my life in ways I could never have imagined. Elegant dress with subtle makeup and a warm smile that illuminated the room, embodying grace and poise amidst the festive atmosphere. As the evening unfolded, I found myself caught in a whirlwind of emotions, torn between gratitude for the warmth and camaraderie shared by our loved ones and a growing sense of unease at the behavior of Millie's family and their guests. Despite my reservations, I endeavored to maintain a semblance of composure, greeting each guest with a genuine smile and extending my hospitality with warmth and generosity. Yet, as the night wore on, I couldn't shake the feeling of being a mere spectator in my own home, as Millie's family and their acquaintances reveled in the opulence of our surroundings without regard for the boundaries of propriety or decorum. It was a stark reminder of the stark contrast between our respective upbringings, as I witnessed firsthand the stark divide between my humble beginnings and the privileged world into which Miley had been born. And though I harbored no ill will towards her family, I couldn't help but feel a sense of disconnect, as if I were an outsider looking in on a world that was foreign to me. In the days that followed, I found myself grappling with a myriad of conflicting emotions, torn between a desire to bridge the gap between our disparate worlds and a growing sense of resentment at the intrusion of Millie's family into our lives. Yet, amidst the turmoil of my inner turmoil, I remained steadfast in my commitment to our marriage, determined to navigate the complexities of our relationship with patience, understanding, and grace. For in the end, it was the love that Miley and I shared, forged in the crucible of adversity and strengthened by the bonds of mutual respect and understanding, that served as the bedrock of our union. And though our journey may have been fraught with challenges and uncertainties, I remained hopeful that with time and patience, we would find a way to bridge the divide between our worlds and build a future that reflected the depth of our love and commitment to one another. Though it was the middle of the night, I was adamant about asserting my boundaries and confronting the situation head on. As the guests hastily gathered their belongings and vacated our home, I felt a profound sense of betrayal and disbelief wash over me, mingled with an overwhelming surge of anger and hurt. In the midst of the chaos and turmoil, I found myself grappling with a torrent of conflicting emotions, torn between my love for Miley and the stark reality of her betrayal. Despite my desire to salvage our marriage and rebuild trust, I couldn't shake the nagging feeling of betrayal that gnawed at my soul, leaving me feeling shattered and disillusioned. As dawn broke and the first rays of sunlight filtered through the windows, casting long shadows across the deserted rooms of our home, I found myself alone with my thoughts, grappling with the weight of the truth that had been laid bare in the darkness of the night. And though the road ahead seemed fraught with uncertainty and pain, I knew that I had to confront the harsh realities of my marriage and chart a new course for my future, one that was defined by honesty, integrity, and self-respect. In the days that followed, I made the difficult decision to confront Miley and her parents about the events of that fateful night, demanding accountability and honesty in the face of their attempts to downplay the severity of the situation. And though the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty and pain, I remained steadfast in my resolve to stand up for myself and assert my boundaries, no matter the cost. For in the end, I knew that true love could only thrive in an environment of mutual trust, respect, and honesty, and I was unwilling to compromise my values or sacrifice my integrity for the sake of preserving a marriage built on lies and deceit. And though the road ahead may be long and arduous, I remained hopeful that with time and reflection, I would find the strength to heal from the wounds of betrayal and emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. In the quiet solitude of the late night, I mustered the courage to take the decisive step towards ending my marriage by dispatching the divorce papers to Miley. The arduous process of finalizing the divorce spanned months, during which I found solace and support in the unwavering solidarity of Noah and my other loyal friends. Despite the emotional turmoil, I faced further challenges as my opportunistic father-in-law attempted to manipulate and extort money from me. However, armed with compelling evidence of his daughter's infidelity, I stood my ground, refusing to succumb to his deceitful schemes. The strained dynamics within Miley's family, exacerbated by the glaring disparity between her upbringing and our shared life, underscored the complexity of our situation. Despite her persistent efforts to bridge the divide, I remained steadfast in my resolve, recognizing that reconciliation was not feasible given the irreparable damage wrought by her betrayal. As I navigated the aftermath of our failed marriage, I found solace and contentment in the companionship of Noah's sister, embracing the newfound sense of harmony and fulfillment that eluded me in my tumultuous past. In the tranquil embrace of solitude, I discovered the profound truth that sometimes the company of oneself is far preferable to the tumultuous presence of those who espouse greed and entitlement. In hindsight, I've come to realize that true peace and contentment can only be found by aligning oneself with individuals who embody integrity, compassion, and mutual respect. And though the road ahead may be fraught with uncertainty, I take solace in the knowledge that I've stayed true to my values and embraced the path of authenticity and self-respect.